here I am on my Gen 1 2001 SV650S in stock clothing, and this is Motovid, July 25th, the Sunday. It's my first ever two-day weekend. The first day was with ZARS on Saturday, second day is with Motovid right now on Sunday. Anybody who was there is going to tell you it was ridiculously hot this weekend. Not hot by, desert standards, but the humidity on Saturday was wild. I drank 3.5 gallons of fluids on that Saturday, and I wasn't peeing enough, and I was cramping. I needed to be drinking more. Technically, it was hotter on this Sunday, where this video is taking place, but Saturday was just insane. So this is the last session of the day. They tell you last session syndrome, you push it too often, so I was just constantly reminding myself of that. So I wasn't going to push it in this session. I wanted to show this one, though, because there's a fair amount of unimpeded riding in this one, whereas in most every other session, I ended up getting stuck in parades for a lot of it, which can be useful for scouting and whatnot, but this one actually has some useful stuff that I can take from it. So the big thing I was doing today, I told myself I would not be dropping into second gear at any point, even though I do believe I can take faster laps. I don't learn as much from it. I need to be learning more about carrying speed through corners and just being consistent and just not having to worry about a second gear is useful for that. And I followed a control rider, ZARS, his name is Joe, super useful at the end of that, and I was able to do it in third gear, and I was just like, it's going to be better, just let's do third gear. So my big goals for today was to not use the rear brake. If you saw my last video about when I was at Road America, I'm trying to break 17 years of riding and using the rear brake, and it's screwing up my foot position. So I didn't touch the rear brake once, never even thought about it. The weeks leading up to this, all my street riding, no rear brake, and I was able to do it. It was a little bit tricky when we were on a moto camping trip, and I was on my V-Strom, and we were riding in sand. I was like, oh shit, you gotta touch that rear brake. And then the other one, when it comes to foot position, is I need to be on the balls of my feet, really, because I was hitting my toes on the ground. And then they tell you to pick one corner to work on, on a track day. And I was really working on 3A/D. Whoever named these corners on this track was, I don't know how much sleep deprivation and Adderall that guy was on, but the corners make no sense. But whatever the bus stop area is, 3AD. And it's interesting, because the people that I was hanging around with, nobody has an idea. Well, everybody has an idea of how you should do it. And they're both green riders. We walked over and watched. Everybody's running it differently. So this right here, what I'm looking at, that's the spot I was, trying to really focus on. Next one I'm going to be working on is the carousel. So there's two major takeaways I'm seeing now that I'm watching this video that I'm going to work on next time. Throttle modulation in these turns. I'm modulating the throttle, which is an absolute no-no, especially in turn 1. I didn't even realize I was doing it and during the track day, and now that I see it, it's absolutely upsetting the bike, and I cannot be doing that. But I was able to knock out the no rear brake on this one, and now that I'm cognizant of the modulation, that's what I'm going to work on next time. And I'm also going to work on the carousel next time. That's going to be it. I'm losing so much time in the carousel. So that's that's my little bit of a rundown on this. Obviously, I'm still very much a novice, but I'm not getting passed by people very often. I'm getting up to people, so I'm getting there. Now I'll shut up. See you on the other half of this video. So that was the last session of the weekend, and something I wanted to point out that I forgot to do in the intro is that it's very clear that my body positioning, especially on right-handed turns, it's not great. Now, I've been trying some things this whole weekend. I was hanging my butt off probably far too much on some of it, and I actually wasn't certain of that until I saw this footage. But I need to get back in the seat more, and I need to get my head down further, which will allow me to open up my hips, which is something I've been struggling with. I struggle to open up my hips as it is, but especially on the right-handed turns. But one thing I was trying to do was actually to see how you can use your left knee to hook onto the tank grip pad and really not put a lot of pressure on the bars at all. There's sometimes in the carousel I'm just playing with it, trying to go as lightly as possible on the bars, so I'm just barely touching it, just so I understand what that sensation is. But I still, that's absolutely the reason why I want to focus on the carousel the next time I'm here, is because I know that my head needs to be down further, my butt needs to be further down in the back. Like with my helmet, I need to be kissing the mirror that doesn't exist, and I need to open up my hips. Bike-wise, like I said, well, throttle, I needed to actually tighten up the throttle a little bit. Not that that was the reason that I was modulating it, but it's not helping. If there's any play inside of there, it's easier to end up modulating it. With the bike stuff, the stuff that I actually changed for this time, the clear windshield with the double bubble on top, even though this thing came from China on the Suez Canal when the boat got stuck there, that's why it took so long. This cheap thing was awesome to throw on there. Super useful. You can actually tell that I can get my head under there a little bit more on the straightaways, and it's just nicer to be able to get some of that front straight ahead footage, except, you know, not from the swing arm, or not swing arm, but the frame slider like I had it last time. But I broke the GoPro mount. That's why that's why the footage is so shitty from that one. So I really put in the lower hand corner. It wasn't very good. Rotella 5W40 versus 15W40. The reason my shifting is so bad, 15W40 doesn't work very well on this bike. I can never use that again. I broke the GoPro mount. The electrical issue, I had a major electrical issue on Monday. SV Rider, I had a lot of help getting that figured out and sorted, because I thought this whole weekend was going to be thrown away. I do believe I need a needle shim under each of the needles now that I put a new de-snorkel thing in there. I think I'm running lean when I'm wide open throttle. Metzler tires, these have 6-7 track days on them now. They don't look worn enough. In tech, they told me, oh, they've got plenty of meat on them. But I don't know if I want to do 3 or 4 more track days this year on them, so I might change them now. Lastly, the rear shock, Penske 8983, was just rebuilt, and I was adding damping the entire day, and I still think I need to add more.